Welcome back to Movies on the Focus, the podcast where we dissect cinematic masterpieces, one questionable plot point at a time. I'm your host, Bob, and with me as always is the dazzling Alice.
Hey everyone. And Bob, darling, don't forget to mention our Patreon, where you can get exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at our recording sessions, mostly me trying to wrestle Bob into a decent microphone position.
Right, Patreon. Anyway, today we're tackling a classic, a spaghetti western that's practically dripping with testosterone and dust, for a few dollars more.
Oh, this one's a real treat. Released in 1965, though I believe the American release was 1967, it stars the legendary Clint Eastwood. This movie is pure Sergio Leone, isn't it? That iconic slow motion, the dusty landscapes, the dramatic music.
Absolutely. Leone's direction is phenomenal. The tension he builds is masterful. And the score? Forget about it. Ennio Morricone's music is as much a character as Eastwood himself. It snagged 3 award nominations, though I can't recall which awards exactly. Sadly, no Oscars, but its legacy lives on.
Exactly. And the critics loved it. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a whopping 92%, and IMDb a solid 8.2 out of 10. Even Metacritic, the grumpy uncle of film critics, gave it a respectable 74. It was made in Italy, Spain, and West Germany, which only adds to its wonderfully international flavor. That explains the Italian language on top of the English one.
It's a 132-minute runtime, so buckle up, folks. But honestly, it flies by. I mean, with all the shootouts, the intense stare-downs. Did you have any favorite scenes? I'm particularly fond of that tense scene where Eastwood and Van Cleef are circling each other, planning their double cross. The suspense is almost unbearable.
Oh, that's a classic. But I'm a sucker for the final showdown. The way Leone builds the tension, the meticulous planning, and of course, the iconic close-ups of Eastwood's face are just so expressive. Every eyebrow raise is loaded with meaning. Plus, the sheer amount of cash flying around, that alone is worth the price of admission. The movie made $15 million in box office, a big number at the time.
It's a true cinematic masterpiece, a film that transcends its genre and continues to captivate audiences decades later. For a few dollars more, really stands the test of time.
Absolutely. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of Movies on the Focus. Join us next time when we'll be discussing, well, let's just say it involves lots of explosions and possibly some questionable special effects.
Until then, keep watching those movies.